Project culture, does it matter? Yes, it does. With your teamwork, problem solving, and communication. And coming up next on Project Skills Mentor, I'm going to tell you how project culture can make a difference to your team. Hi, I'm Liz, the Project Skills Mentor, and today we're talking about project culture. Why? Because you want your team to be high performing, and the best way to create a high performing team is to acknowledge them as individuals. And as individuals, we all have a culture we came from. So let's start by talking about what is culture. Adam Grant said it great, so I'm going to put his card up here. The culture of a workplace, an organization's values, norms, and practices has a huge impact on our happiness and success. And when our team is successful, the product, project, or outcome we're looking for is much more likely to be successful, which impacts our end users, our customers, our audience. And this is why spending time making sure you understand the culture of your team and building the culture of your team is so important. The fact is, culture counts, and this graphic from Project Management Institute shows that. Projects that manage and address cultural differences and leverage them do better. So how does project culture help your team be more high performing? Well, we all come into a project with our individual skills, but we also come in with a belief about norms and values and ways of working. Our culture. So what you want to do as a project manager is value every voice and every culture, but find a way to meld those into a project culture so that the standard of what yes and no mean, what timelines mean, how to resolve disagreements, how to resolve or raise an issue if there's a red flag, how all of that works is part of your project culture. Essentially, it's made up of three components. One is the organization's culture, the way of working, the norms of that organization or corporation. Two is the individuals coming into the team. And three, the team itself. The work of the project will very much dictate a variation on culture. So let's talk about a well-documented model that's been put together by the Hofstede Group. This is a professor that worked in the 60s, 70s, and even today his son is doing this work, trying to understand the culture embedded in society and how that culture manifests itself in norms and ways of thinking, values that we don't think about if we're in that culture, but when we're crossing cultures, you become very aware of those differences. In this six-dimensional model, everyone is somewhere on this spectrum of extremes, but you do see cultures that have more to the left or more to the right, and that's important to understand. So let's look at this model. You have power distance, acceptance of hierarchy, or equality for all. Collectiveness. Is it a me first or a collective concept? Masculine versus feminine. This isn't a gender issue so much as a point of view. So is it about A-type personalities, achieve, me first, money always, or is it consensus-driven, community-based? Uncertainty avoidance. How much discomfort do I get from risk? Long-term versus short-term thinking. And you see this as an extreme point of view in a couple of different countries where they are absolute polarity with each other. Indulgence versus restraint. Again, this kind of goes with the long-term and short-term. The idea of immediate gratification versus long-term view of next generation thinking, as in it will be good for the next generation. This can create a huge amount of difference in how your stakeholders, how your team, or how your organization works. So knowing this model, if you then drill it down to what does that mean to individuals, we can look at this from a country perspective. So I've chosen 4 disparate countries where I've had teams working all together from these countries, and you can really see how these differences and diversity come out. So we have China, Germany, United States, and India, and you can see here how diverse some of those points are. From China to America, those are some of the biggest gaps. And that individualism can come across in a lot of different ways. How decisions get made, the viewpoint of what a hero would look like, the hero story, what a product might be in terms of who's developing the product. There are a lot of fundamentally different ways of working in each of these cultures that come out in this kind of graphic. And if you want to see more on the case study I did about this, I've got a link below to my blog. You can check it out. Projects that manage and address cultural differences and leverage them do better. It allows them to move faster because their communication is better. It allows them to work more aligned because they understand and value the differences but have a shared way of working. And it's named, known, and valued in the team. When you ignore culture, you're ignoring not only a part of people's values and norms, but you're also ignoring the very spark that can create a great outcome for your project. And ignoring project culture can create problems in communication where miscommunication happens and people start thinking it's a personnel issue instead of the fact it's a communication and viewpoint issue. So how do you create the right project culture? First, recognize the differences and see them as positives. Second, build a team that values the uniqueness of each individual but has a team-centric way of working. And then make sure that team-centric way of working is named, is known among the team. Be transparent and have the team help to create the processes. Their norms will then dictate how things work, and people will understand why things work that way. And one way you can show respect to your team culture, if you have a holiday calendar, put in all the holidays for all the countries represented. It's such a simple thing to do, to acknowledge these diversity points. If you can do that, you can actually get the best of both worlds. The diversity of a group that sees things differently, that can help you get the best product or solution for your project, and a team way of working that acknowledges the differences in individuals and cultures, but respects the fact that the team needs a cohesive way of working. Coming together, this gives you a high-performing team in every aspect. So I hope you agree with me that culture matters, and it matters for you, your team, and your project's outcome. So if you've liked this video, I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope you check out this video on high-performing teams next. Thanks, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.